Alright guys, welcome to part 5 of Don't Be a Fool in Hunt Showdown. We still gonna deconstruct my little solo match server clear here and talk about the thought process and decision making. But today I wanna try to cut some of the fluff while not killing my approach to storytelling. I wanna find out what you prefer so that I can provide value and save you some time. I know that sounds a bit cheesy, but in the end it comes down to that, I think. What I also want to try in the future is some extra fluff. Maybe even with a made-up lore-ish story, but we will see. Alright, let's get to the meat. I was recording off-stream that night and I've had a really hunt taketh kind of night. I'm running a quartermaster build with a Winnie Talon on high velo, combined with a short rival on slugs. The other traits are physician and frontiersman. The rest of the loadout is kinda basic. A set of syringes and an ammo box. Okay, after complaining about the spawn on Cyprus and all the PvE, I'm finally approaching Devent. The map grays out like the boss could be at Devent or Slaughterhouse, but we'll learn later that it is on Blanchard and you should definitely stay tuned for the showdown there. What is important to mention right away, I'm not too silent on my way. Not shooting or activating crows, but the hive kill and my melee attack on that grunt could have been loud enough to be heard by people at Devent. And guess what? That must have been the case. While I was talking to myself about the greyout, I suddenly hear an important sound. Listen. Pretty distinct sound of a male hunter vaulting over that fence next to the broken trailer on the road. I immediately stand still and duck down, which is not always a good idea, because if they heard you and now they hear nothing anymore, that means you're not moving, so they can just shoot at your last sound location. But it seems like they are playing pretty passive as well, which is fair because they don't know I'm just a solo. You can also hear PvE getting killed by melee or a silencer to the far east, so they are not solo. After some more sneaky steps of the enemy, I decide to backpedal and crouch, because staying on one spot for too long is pretty deadly in Hunt Showdown. Well, you could argue if crouching away is a good strategy here, but it worked. After all, I am solo 5-star facing 3 to 4-star trios. As soon as I got some more bushes in between them and me, I used my antidote shot, because I was not too sure if I really heard a vault or maybe even a trap. Better be safe than sorry. After gaining more and more distance, I try to find some visual contact. I expect him to be in the barn, but then I see some small movement through the fence and... bingo! After the shot I start running. The surprise moment is used and I need to change position fast. ADS on that wagon for the mate slows me down a bit, but I wanna try to spot him. Which I don't. Let's talk about me being a fool. Looting a dead enemy in the open field while you definitely know that her friends are still around. That's the opposite of smart. But sometimes you gotta be lucky, right? I am not picking up the crack. It might be long ammo, but I tend to miss with it. I like my little Winnie. Being fed up with that EPS finals gameplay, I melee charge into the stables. Nobody inside though. But I find a lantern to speed things up. The roof is actually a good position for me in this situation. But to be honest, you shouldn't stay on top of it as long as I do in this match. Especially when facing more experienced enemies. I am crouching for 2 reasons. Don't give them the loud metal sound to tell them exactly where I am. And I think if you stand up, even on the lower edge of that roof, your head can be spotted from the floor level. Depending on the distance, of course. I use the mattress for a short peekaboo and some fast wiggles without the metal sound. And I can bait a missed shot at me to get some information. But to be honest, I didn't see him. Did you? At least I know he's running a Sparks. And now you need to look closely. Watch the top of the fence. You can see some pixels moving. So I aim for the gate and... Kane is gone. Oh, and here's the last one. Sadly no headshot, but he runs for cover. I know that I can't penetrate these metal sheets of the cage with compact ammo. Instead of putting the rival slugs to the range test, I somehow decide to throw the frag. I just don't have picture, so not my best move here. But it seems to get him leaving his cover. And this one is a headshot. GG team number 1. Not gonna lie, I feel great after this engagement. Let's just talk about the Kane kill real quick. I need to learn or actually force myself to pre-aim for the head. Because as you just saw, I rather aim for the kneecap and then flick to his head. I mean, it's cool to flick, but it would be smarter to have more control over your aim. I think it will come over time as long as I try to remind myself. Anyways, we took out a long ammo team with 2 snipers. And I burned them to delete the scopes from this match. Off to Blanchard. Scrappy is on 70% and we hear fanning, so there is another fight going on. I decide to take the western route, just to make sure to be able to intercept a rush towards the extract. And since I brought death traps, I try to imagine what path I would take to the exit and just set them up. If I die, I can maybe watch them suffer a bit. Oh, and I wanted to leave the grunts alive, because if you rush to the exit and kill grunts to clear the path, you pay less attention to the traps in front of you. We hear drilling and Mosin as we approach. People are dying, so I shouldn't waste too much time or I will lose the third-party advantage. Go, 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 you fool! Red barrel, check for traps. Somehow, the headsman misses with his Mosin, and my slugs end him fast. I was trying to deny the res, but somehow I get hit by another Mosin. I can't see anybody, so I need to step back. I don't dare to heal because they could decide to push after me, so I just hold the angle and pray for the wreck shot. That res kinda surprised me. Headsman was gone really fast. Anyways, let's reset the fight. I don't see my chance on this window anymore. The altar mourn confuses me a bit because there could actually be someone still outside in the west. But no time to think about it for too long. I need to focus on the enemies in the church. And now we're getting in trouble because I'm moving way too much in the open here. I hear the steps and want to get downstairs fast, but it's already too late. Watch this. Luckily, the loose mala only hits my leg or arm, and the headsman misses 2 shots. Loose swallows a bullet mid-air. And the white shot kinda vaults into the headshot. Sorry. Headsman immediately throws a chokes, I guess for visual cover. This time, I can deny the res. And we can clearly hear him flanking to our left. Call me a fool for vaulting up here. Not smart. Again, I'm just lucky that he misses. I don't return the favor and kill him with a body tap. That's it, we're clear. Let's loot some Mosin uppercut and call it a day. I can only find 7 corpses at Blanchard, but the match summary will show 3 trios and a duo, so no solo sniper left. And no, I did not run into my own traps. This time. Thanks for watching and thank you for all the valuable comments on my videos. Leave a like and a sub if you dare to. Happy holidays and bye bye.